Welcome back, everyone. I have a lot of things that I want to get done. I'm just trying my best to prioritize what I want to do first. But one thing that I have been struggling with a lot in this world is food. I think I'm completely out of food right now. So I think it's a good idea to go ahead and get that food situation sorted out, just so it doesn't really distract me anymore and I can focus more on other projects. So I think the goal for today is just going to be getting a basic farm down or animal farm down. I have an idea for a cow farm design. It's pretty simple, but it should work pretty well, or good enough to get a decent amount of meat. So I think I'm actually going to dig this underground. I want this to be right next to what I'm eventually going to make a wheat farm. And I want the wheat farm to actually be under this water out here. So I want the wheat farm to have a glass ceiling and then be underneath this lake. And I think it'd probably just be better to have all my food stuff in the same area. So I'm just going to go ahead and dig out an area that we can have for the food farm, the wheat farm, along with the cow farm. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I actually think that I want it to be in this area here, just because the bottom of the lake is a bit flatter here. So I might actually finally build the tunnel that I've been talking about that will go from this side of the base and go over to this part of the mountain. Then I think I'll have an elevator there going down into the farm area, which will be under there. I tried to make the elevator in this part, but this area just isn't quite big enough, I don't think, and not quite flat enough. So I think we're gonna dig out this area first. Alright, I've got a little bit of this area mined out now. I don't think this is gonna be too incredibly wide. I'll probably just make it like a few more on each side, maybe like that. And then over here probably like this. I think that'll be big enough. I still don't really have any like plans for this area just yet. I think later down the line we might fill it with like a UU matter generator, mass fabricators, which are used to make in-game armor. So have to wait a little bit to do that, but I think this would be a good place for it. I also ran into a cave over here, and a ton of marble, which again is nice because I use marble a lot. So I'm going to expand this area out a little bit more, and then we can start, trying to build our farm. Okay. Unfortunately, my recording software bugged out a little bit, and so none of the progress on this got recorded, and also all the progress down here didn't get recorded, so I'm like recording this after I built everything, but this is the basic shape of the room in here. Again, I plan on building mass fabricators here, and then hopefully that will take up a big portion of this space here. And then this will just be like a hallway that could go further this way, or just be like a room to access all the UU matter that it produces. And then this hallway just has a nice glass panel here. I think it would be kind of cool just to like see the mass fabricators working and like all the pipes going. So yeah, I put some glass here. And then down here, I'm eventually going to have an elevator that goes down to the farm area. I won't show that off just yet because I'm going to do that a little bit later. But yeah, this is the basic room, and also big window here, obviously. Alright, now that we have the area cleared out for the cow farm, now we just need to collect all the materials that are going to be needed to operate it. So I have a pretty long list here for such a simple farm, but I'll go ahead and make everything, and then I'll try to explain what everything does and how everything's going to work together. Before I make the cow farm, I just realized I need to make a wheat farm first. So I need to collect some seeds here, and then I guess we'll have to make that first, but it should be pretty simple. I intend to use Computercraft to do it, but it should be really straightforward, just having a farming turtle go and make a sweep every 30 minutes or something. Alright, we got our farmland in here, and I planted all the seeds that I have. Hopefully this will be enough to start a little bit of a farm so that I can just get the cow farm started. And then eventually when I get more seeds from this, I can fill it in with all the seeds I get. So yeah. Alright, I think I'm only going to use one turtle for this setup, just to keep things simple. And also, one turtle should be plenty, just to harvest this amount of wheat. And the setup is also pretty simple, so there's just going to be a fuel chest here, and then an output chest here, and it'll just take fuel from this chest and then put all the wheat out in this chest. So it is a bit manual right now because I have to put in the fuel manually and take out the wheat manually, but eventually I think I'll probably make it automatic so that it can request more fuel if it's low, and then also maybe auto-craft some of the wheat into bread and then automatically pump some of it into the wheat farm, or sorry, the cow farm, to make more steak. But for now I think this will work. Alright, I think I'll take this time to explain how this farm is going to work. So this area here will be where the cows are. I have some transposes on the ground, and then those will be hooked up to a redstone signal to pump items off the floor whenever the cows drop their, steak and stuff. And then I'm going to have a deployer here. I'm not going to place it yet, but I'll have a deployer here with a lava bucket. And for some reason it deploys it like all the way over here on the opposite wall. So that'll be here. And then this is a computer with a sensor. So this sensor will sense the inventory of the deployer. So it will be able to detect if the deployer has a lava bucket or an empty bucket. And then I'll have another sensor somewhere in here that will detect all of the mobs in the area, so all the cows. So basically how the logic is going to work is this will check how many cows there are, and if it's under a certain threshold, it will dispense the lava, or if it's over a certain threshold, it will dispense the lava, and then the cows will just kind of naturally walk into it and die. And then once they get under a certain level, it will pick up the lava and allow them to continue breeding. So that's the basic idea. Alright, so let's see if this farming program works. It's gonna take some fuel, and it's gonna start planting. I gave it only a few seeds, so there we go, it ran out. And since it ran out of seeds, it's not gonna be able to replant these because it's probably not in the right slot. Let's see. Yep. There we go. So now it's able to replant them. Looks like it misses that one on the corner there, but it should be an easy fix. Then he's gonna keep on going. Pretty nice though. And then the big thing is if he's able to turn left, skip over this puddle here, and it skips that one too. Okay. So it looks like when it gets to the end of a row is the only time it has issues, but yeah, nothing too exciting after that. I mean, it's just gonna keep on going. Alright, a little bit of a beauty update. I made the top be more arched, so it's not super flat anymore, and then added these support panels with lights in them. I thought these glowstone lamps would be enough to light up the farmland so that the seeds can actually grow, but turns out it's not. So I put a bunch of torches here on the ceiling, which, it doesn't look amazing, but for the most part, like, you don't really notice it, and I don't really think it's that big of a deal. One thing that I want to be able to do is pump the output of the turtle, so all the wheat and the seeds, out of this chest. And I want it to filter out the seeds and I guess just throw them away. I don't really know what other uses there are for them, but for now I'll just throw it away, I guess. And then put the wheat that it harvests into this feed station. And this feed station just automatically breeds cows, which is nice. So just automatically pump it out of there into here because it'll be kind of hard to access since it's in the center and this is going to be closed off. And then if there's any excess wheat, I think that I'll make that into bread just so I can have like an additional food supply. So that's the plan for that. Should be pretty easy to hook up. An Enderman actually gave me a nice present of a grass block just in the middle of the hallway, which is nice. It's actually the second time that's happened because one left a dirt block here not too long ago, so they just love placing things in my house for some reason. Alright, starting to craft some of the materials here, and do you remember like a few days ago when I said I had more iron than I'd probably ever need? I'm down under 2 stacks now, so I'm probably going to need to get even more iron. Alright, so I got the basic idea done. It's just going to filter all the wheat out of this chest, and then it'll just go straight into the feeding station over here. This isn't a great long-term solution because this chest will obviously just fill up with seeds over time. So eventually I will have to add another filter for the seeds, and then also, have like an overflow system to take care of all the wheat that doesn't fit in there. But that can come a little bit later. I just kind of want to have a basic farm down just so I don't have to worry about food, and I can improve it a little bit later. I think at this point all that's really left to do is wait for some of this wheat to grow up and continue planting the farm, and then get some cows down here, which I think is going to be easier said than done, because they have to take a pretty big fall to get down here, but hopefully it's not too big of an issue, but we'll see. Cows seem to be the rarest of the mobs from just what I've seen in this version. I've seen a ton of pig and some sheep, but I've yet to see a single cow. I don't know if the spawn rates are different in different biomes, but I mean, there's more pigs, there's sheep, but I haven't found a single cow yet, so I don't know if the spawn rates are weird, but we'll keep looking. Okay, this is actually getting a little bit crazy. We have sheep here, chickens here, and pigs here, but there's no sign of any cows anywhere. And I'm pretty far from my base, and my jetpack's probably about to run out, so I don't know why cows are so hard to find. Okay, I finally found cows. I'm not kidding, I've probably been looking for like 30 minutes straight. Okay, let's see if we can get this whole pack of them just in case some of them get lost. Let's, hello? Okay, let's see if we can lure these guys all the way back to my base. This should be, yeah, 4 is good. So we can afford to lose 2 of them. So let's go ahead and make the long journey back. Looks like we might be making a few friends along the way. That's fine. They can hang out too, I guess. Doing this at night is actually considerably more difficult. Every 20 seconds I get shot by skeletons, and then some of the cows will get hit and run away. But oh, there's a wolf over there. I'm actually gonna grab this wolf because I don't have any bones. I got more important things to do now, I guess. But it's actually another herd of cows right here, so I think I'm gonna collect a bunch of them. Okay, that's actually not good at all. I think I was kind of far away, so this might be a bit of an issue. I think that's the first time, actually I think it's the second time I've died in this world, but dang, I don't even know where I died, so this is going to be a fun little quest. I'm actually going to take this bed along with me, I think, just so I don't get trapped at night again trying to lead the cows. I'm also realizing that I had my alchemy bag on me when I died, which had like all of my building materials in it, so that probably wasn't a great idea to just take with me like that, especially with no armor. Yeah, I'm not making good choices. I think I see where I died on the map. Okay, if I died there that would have been crazy. But I see like a dirt hole on the map, which I'm assuming is the explosion that I died in. I kind of got hit by a 1-2 punch with a creeper and a skeleton, so wasn't really prepared for that. Wasn't really prepared to be caught out alone at night, but you know, I definitely need to make some armor. Okay, let's get the show back on the road. I was actually able to watch the Minecraft movie this weekend. I know it's kind of a hit or miss movie for a lot of people, but I thought it was fun. You know, I think a lot of people went into it with really high expectations, and I don't really know why you would do that, because it's like, it's the Minecraft movie. You know, the target audience is definitely like a 7-year-old and not like a grown adult, so like all the adults that are there like complaining about like how like bad it was, like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't made for you, but I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I had a good time watching it. There was a kid in the theater. There was like 2 seats over from me, and they were having like the time of their lives watching it, so it was pretty fun. I'm curious as to what all of you guys thought about the Minecraft movie, so if you saw it and you have some like strong opinions about it, let me know what you thought. I don't know why those two just decided to just haul ass into the hole there, but that's okay. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the Minecraft movie in the comments if you saw it. Alright, come on in, fellas. I got a nice home for you where you'll be happy forever. Might have to... Come on, guys. Come on in. There we go. Just need 2 of you. Alright, that sheep is kind of dumb. He can stay outside. So let's bring these guys down into their new home. It's a very nice home, I think. I'd be pretty happy to live there. Down. Actually, before I take these guys down there, I need to place a water bucket down here, I think. Okay, probably should have put my jetpack on first. Alright, I might have to punch them down in that hole, or just like push them down. Alright, that works. Alright, I guess we might as well get all three of them in there. Come on, buddy. Get on down. Nice. Oh. Oh my god. Why did that not cushion their fall? They all died. Bruh. Okay. Why? Okay. Not exactly thrilled that that happened. But one thing I am happy about is this Enderman in here has a grass block. And I want that grass block. And I'm actually gonna die here, I think. Which is not good. Probably should have made a sword before I did that. I don't think I have any, like, safe spaces either. That's not good. But finding new cows is gonna be kind of a pain. Because that took me a really long time to find them and then to bring them all the way back here. So, definitely a setback. But, you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, hopefully I'll find some new ones pretty quick. Yeah, that Enderman just appeared to have just disappeared completely. I have no idea where he went. Which stinks. I want to have grass in there, in the cow farm, just so it's not, like, you know, too inhumane. What the hell is happening to my skin? That's interesting. Okay, well, let's go find some more cows. Okay, actually on my way back, I remember exactly 2 cows got stuck in a hole over here. So I'm gonna see if they're still there, because that would be really awesome if I could just grab those 2, because it's not very far from my base. I think it was over here. Yes, this hole right here on this little shoreline. If there's 2 cows in here, I'm actually gonna be so happy. Okay, there's one. There's another one. Okay, this is big news. Just have to make sure nothing bad happens to these guys. I don't know how to get them out of here though. Maybe they can swim up. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Can he do it? I don't think he can do it. Thank God I left these 2 behind. Honestly, if I would have spent time to dig them out then, I probably just would have killed them. And so I'd have to go on a whole nother quest to find them, but I'm really glad that I left them, because, yeah, backup cows. Always have backup cows. New lesson. Minecraft rule number 4, always have backup cows. Alright, let's do take 2 here. I have a sheep here, who I'm just going to use as a test subject. And they survived. Alright, looks like it's safe. Get down there, buddy. Nice. And then you go on down. Alright, I got the cows in there, and I bred them up a little bit. There's 4 in there now. And then there's little sheep that I just threw in there just cuz. And then this wheat is almost done growing. Once it's done growing, I'll probably just do like a full demonstration of what everything is going to look like from start to finish. But for now, we need to get the elevator in. So there's actually elevators in Railcraft. There's like an elevator track. And it's actually pretty cheap to make. So we're going to make some of these and then basically just have a minecart that you hop into to go up and down this wall here. It's fine having a jetpack, but I mean, okay, well that just kind of illustrates my point, like, exactly. I just ran out of fuel for my jetpack, so it's definitely a good idea to have an elevator, just so I don't have to, you know, do this, because this has already happened like 2 or 3 times. Okay, and these rails go directly on the walls, and it kind of seems like you can use them as a ladder too, which is a nice little bonus, but I'm not actually 100% sure how these work. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of messing around with it just to make sure I can get it down right. I've seen some like tutorials on how to use them, but I've never like actually used them for anything. Okay, this is weird. I don't think I can directly place a cart on these elevator tracks, so I think I need another rail going into it so I can place the rail on the actual track and then push it into place. But to make rails, Railcraft changes the recipe, so I need to make a rolling machine first, which is basically just like a crafting table for rails. So I'll need to make that. Alright, there we go. Got some rails. So now I'm thinking, I've actually never done this before, but I'm thinking I can just place these rails like this, and then push that like that. I think that worked. Let me get a lever down and see if it'll come up. Yep, okay, awesome. And so the power actually needs to be activated at the top here. It doesn't work if you power it at the bottom. I think it only goes up to the level that it's powered at. So we'll need to run a redstone wire all the way from the bottom to the top to make it go up. And for that I have these red alloy wires, which are good because they can actually, go up walls. Okay, so what I think for the elevator I want is I want to have a button at the top and the bottom, and whenever I press it, I just want it to reverse directions. So one thing I wanted to show off in this version is this is how you make buttons. This is a recipe that I had completely forgotten about. As far as I can remember, it's always just been like one stone in the middle, but I don't know. I just wanted to show that. But the idea that I had is to use a toggle latch. So what this does is, that's sideways, the input goes in here, right? And then you have two outputs. And then whenever this receives a signal, it changes output. So like if I press this button, now it's doing that. So the idea is to have two buttons connected to this toggle latch. I guess I can simulate this like this. So say this is the bottom and this is the top. So at the bottom, okay, say I'm at the top. And then this is connected to a track. This is connected to the elevator. This is a very crude demonstration. But if it's at the top, then the elevator is going to be on. So I press the button at the top, and then boom, the track turns off, so I go down. And then I'm at the bottom, and it's down, and I click this button, and then it gets activated, so I go up. Seems like the theme of today is just an animal quest. I want to make insulated wires. I'll show you in a little bit why I need them, but for that I need 6 pieces of wool. So I've just been running around collecting... Oh, actually I already have 6, so I guess I could go back, but I'm thinking I'll probably need more. Because that gives you 12 wires, and I'm thinking I might need a little more than 12, so I think I'm going to try to get 12 pieces of wool so I can make 24 wires, but I'll show you exactly what they're for in a second. I'm just like very... I don't know, today's just been a very animal-focused day, I guess. Okay, so I have the wiring done. So this blue cable, which I found out I actually didn't need the colored cables, this entire thing could just be normal wire if I wanted to, but this blue cable takes the input from that button, and it will send the signal down here and into this latch, which also connects to the other button on the bottom. So anytime you press either of those buttons, this will activate, which will toggle the signal on or off. So if it's on, then the minecart goes up, and if it's off, then it goes down. So anytime you push a button at the top or the bottom, it'll either go from going down to going up, or from going up to going down. So if we just hop in the minecart here, we can press a button and go up, then press this button and go down. And then go back up, and then I can just press this if I just want to send it down. So it doesn't have to be like, it's not like the bottom button always sends it up and the top bottom always sends it down. It just always flips whatever the current signal is. Alright, doing all that wiring actually took forever, so all of the crops are now grown. So I can hit the turtle command to go and farm. Is there not fuel in here? Okay, let me get some fuel for this, and then we'll do a take 2. Okay, take 2. Let's get this guy to do some farming. He's going to get some fuel, and then off he goes. He's going to harvest all of the wheat, and then replace it with seeds. I did have to put a big glass panel here, just because the way it works is it, basically for each row, it just continues going forward until it hits a wall. So before this, I just had like air here, and so it would just keep going until it hit this wall, and then it would get all messed up. So had to put this glass pane here. But yeah, he's basically just going to farm up all the rows, come back and put his items in that chest. Alright, after the turtle is finished, he puts all of his items into this chest here, and then they get pumped out by the filter, and they will go into this farmer over here, and as you can see it's already working. So the farmer, or not the farmer, the feeding station will feed the cows at random intervals, which is not amazing, but it's just kind of how it works. So if we wait another second, we'll see it'll feed another cow. I actually think it fed that sheep in there. Okay, there we go, it fed another cow. And then eventually it'll feed another cow and allow them to breed. But feeding the cows at random intervals is a little bit annoying because, you know, obviously if the breeding cooldown is still on, they'll still get fed, and it'll just kind of waste that wheat. But you know, not too much I can do about that. There we go. Okay, we got 2 cows breeding, and then they'll make a little baby cow. And then once we get to 25 cows in there, or no, wait, sorry, once we get to 50 cows in there, which I might have to lower that limit because that's like a lot of cows. But once we get to 50 cows, it'll start killing them until they reach 25, and then it will stop killing them and allow them to repopulate a bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think we're going to be able to get the benefit of this farm just yet because it'll take a while to get all the cows, you know, up and running, because I need to get 25 of them before this, you know, farm is useful. But I'll just keep this running until it gets there. But for now, I think that's going to do it for today. Got the basic farm done, and have, you know, something that will eventually give us food. And this elevator's pretty cool, so I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah. That's all for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please leave a comment if you have any suggestions or anything like that on how to, you know, make this farm better or, you know, whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching.